What's up, people? Orseofkorse here, coming at you with another Genesis video. Today, I want to talk about Nameless. He is the psionic assassin, and I want to talk about the cards that I use to build him and what has worked for me. Just a disclaimer, I like to play Nameless as an actual jungler, not so much in lane. He can be played in lane if you want to, but he is one of the best gankers, if not the best ganker in the game. Selena, I believe her name is, the karate chick, she might be up there with him because of her trap, but he's really good as a jungler. So he is a energy type character. So I build him mostly energy and then a little bit of health and some movement speed. And that seems to work out the best for him. I also have a couple of utility items that I do put on him. So the first item that I usually build is going to be the Scepter of Zeus. That item gives you 60 energy damage, 250 health, 400 energy, and then the 7 movement speed. Now, even though that's not a whole bunch, he does have abilities that allow him to close distance and get a boost to speed. So any additional movement speed just adds on to what he is already getting. So by the end of the build, you're actually moving pretty fast passively. And then when you use your abilities, you can run down anybody pretty much. The reason that I like Scepter of Zeus is because every 4.5 seconds, you proc something called Divine Wrath. And this basically strikes a random enemy within 650 in that radius. And it deals 30 energy damage plus your whatever energy damage you're building. So basically it scales with your energy damage. And since he's a energy character, you're going to be building pure energy with him for the most part. There may be some people who build some attack with him, but usually you will see him with all energy damage. So this effect can stack up to 3 times. And each time the wearer closes a distance of 240, the cooldown of Divine Wrath is reduced by 1 second. So you're going to be moving really quickly. You have an ability that allows you to dash in a sense. So that'll come in handy. You will definitely be closing that small gap, especially if people are trying to run away from you. So you actually get big value out of this item. And later on, when you mix it with like Crimson Storm or Absolute Zero, you're able to keep people in that radius and it's devastating. So the second item that I want to talk about is the Hymn of Hades. This is a really good item for any caster, I believe, or anybody who's using energy damage. It gives you 60 energy damage and then the 20% cooldown, which is awesome because you want to be getting those moves out just that much faster. And it also does the passive, which abilities deal additional energy damage equivalent to 7% of the current health. Has a cooldown of 2.5 seconds. When multiple abilities are used against a single target, additional damage is capped at 350. So this pairs really well with his moves because besides his ultimate, he doesn't really have moves that like come out super fast, like in succession. So you have your silence, and then you could dash on somebody as well. But if you time it right, you can get the maximum value for your damage if you time your dash right and maybe hold off for a few seconds on your silence, depending on the situation. But either way, this move just adds additional damage to the crazy damage that he's already doing. And that's every 2.5 seconds you can be doing an additional 350 damage. So it's actually crazy. Now, the next card that I really love here, I'm going to go with the Crimson Storm. So this card gives you the 70 energy damage. It gives you 350 health, 250 energy, and then I love the passive. Abilities reduce target movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. So on top of being able to silence people, you also slow them down. This pairs very well with Scepter of Zeus because it makes sure, or it helps keep people within that 650 radius. So it's really hard for people to get away from Nameless when he doesn't have anything that slows you. But when he has this slow on, it's impossible. Nobody gets away from you, even if they have a jump. There's no way. Nobody has escaped me yet, at least. Unless maybe Zeus if I time my silence wrong. The next card I have here is called Absolute Zero. It gives plus 60 energy damage, plus 400 energy, and plus 60 armor. Now, the 60 armor is good because Nameless isn't the tankiest character in the game. So a little bit of armor does help with his survivability, but it's not necessarily your main goal. You're more like getting there, burst some people down, and then get out. The reason I like this card as well is because the active deals 200 damage to enemies within a 750 radius. And then on top of Scepter of Zeus, you're going to be putting down potentially 600 damage right there just from your items, not even assuming what you're going to be hitting them with. and then you also reduce their speed or their movement speed by 40%. So stacked with the Crimson Storm, people can't get away from you. They're taking a ton of damage just from your items, and it really stacks up, and you burn people down really quickly. The fact that it also allows you to reduce enemy attack speed is just a bonus, so that you take less damage, because like I said, you aren't the tankiest character in the game. The last card that I like to run with Nameless is going to be the Reatomizer. So it gives some decent stats. It gives the energy damage, it gives the health, the energy, and then energy regeneration. But I like it because the active turns somebody into a sheep for 2.5 seconds. And it also slows them. So as you haven't figured it out, this whole build is about slowing people on top of the fact that you're already super quick. It makes it so that people do not escape Nameless. And if you're ganking, this is just devastating for people because they're usually already weak or have taken damage. So you go there and you finish them off pretty much. Now, the last card that I like here is actually a movement card, and it is the Quantum Jumper. This card gives you plus 80 movement speed, and the active is why I use it. You instantly teleport the user in the direction he is facing for a distance of 900. Cannot be used 3 seconds after taking damage from an enemy hero. Since you're going to be ganking, you're probably not going to be running into people in your own jungle to actually hit you or do damage to you. So this is going to be something that you can use to make sure you close that distance very quickly, because you already have your dash, and then if you also have this, you can close a gap very, very fast, and people are not going to be able to get away from you. And just briefly, I want to go over kind of the pre-selection and what you'll be building as you work towards the in-game items. So for like Scepter of Zeus, you're going to be building Power Piston, Battery Shard, Polar Meter, and this basically just gives you damage, energy, and then 40 energy, 300 or 40 energy damage and 300 energy. And the same for this one for the most part. The only difference with Helm of Hades is that you're going to start building cooldown reduction on top of building energy damage. And that's how I like to just take a look at what I'm actually building as I'm going through. So make sure you do that so you know what cards you're actually getting. So those are the 6 cards that I'm building for Nameless right now, and it seems to work very well for me. Let me know if you have any cards that you feel work better, and put it down in the comment section. If this video helped you at all, make sure to let me know. Drop a like, subscribe for more Genesis content, and if you made it to the end of the video, as always, let me know. People, this is Orseofkorse. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Peace, 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 peace.